My dear sisters and brothers, the Word of God. And what does it do to us when we listen to it? Do we get clarity to what we are thinking, what we are experiencing, or what we have to do? Today's readings are giving us an attitude that we need to have. What attitude? One of internal presence, by which we will be able to see all things in the way we have to see them, but not in a way in which we are frightened, we are terrified, but that we are calm and cool and be able to confront it. Why? Because we are not alone. We are not ourselves just by ourselves. We are in Jesus. So, while He will also come, as the first reading says, on the clouds with a golden crown and a sickle in His hand. Why is that? To reap, as it is said in the first reading, all that there is of the wine of the earth, and to sift it so that we will be able to see those who have lived in Him and those who have not lived with Him. And so, when this time comes, there is nothing that will remain. And there will be people saying, I am coming in His name. So, don't be terrified when there are pestilences, famines, earthquakes, or nations and kingdoms fighting against itself. There will be signs from heaven. And there will be terrors as well, because the sifting time will come. So, my dear sisters and brothers, very often we take it lightly. We're not very serious about what Jesus is telling us. We don't have to be terrified, but we have to remain united so that His peace pervades us and His love flows through our thoughts, words and deeds. And this is what has happened to everyone who has heard His call and who remains in Him. Look at what happened to Cecilia. She was a young maiden. She was a patrician. She came from a very noble family. But she was a Christian. And her parents got her married. So she told her husband on the first night, you must not touch me, for if you do, the angel will not be very happy with you. But he says, I can't see the angel. He says, you must be baptized and you must accept Jesus. Only then you can see the angel. And when he became Christian and came back home, he saw her conversing with the angel. And then he was convinced that because he also was able to see, he had to suffer martyrdom along with his brother, and she consoled them and buried them. But she also had to confront the executioners. And so what did they do? They put her in boiling water. Because she did not die, she was not unscathed, they removed her and strangled her. And they left her, with a gash in her, and she was bleeding and in pain for 3 days. But all who came to her, she was always consoling them, because this is how a person in Jesus who is totally united to Him will be, His very presence in their thoughts, words and deeds. My dear sisters and brothers, we all are in Him. But how are each one of us living each day in Him, through Him and with Him? Do people experience Him in us, in our thoughts, words and deeds? Let us ask for this grace in this Mass as we surrender ourselves to Him at this offertory. And let us ask Him to give us His Spirit so that we will be moved by His grace. All of you, hold your hands like this, keep your back straight, close your eyes, and just for a moment experience Jesus filling us from our toes right up to our head with His presence at each breath. And everything in us is charged, is floating, is united to Him. And so keep it in Him as you breathe out, so that it does not remain in you. Good, bad, ugly, thoughts, words, experiences, behavior, emotions, everything, keep it in Him.